99% of men are acting like it's 1920, and they're failing. And you can see it everywhere. And it's no wonder. Imagine if you had to use a typewriter to do your work today. How disadvantaged you'd be. The way 99% of men are trying to attract women today is the relationship equivalent of using a typewriter in the age of ChatGPT 4. Using a typewriter in 1920 may have been a smart thing to do, but now it's just not intelligent. Relationships have evolved just as much as technology since the 1920s. The laws, the social expectations, the culture is almost completely unrecognizable, yet most men have failed to adapt to these new times. There are two attraction strategies that men have used literally since the dawn of time, and while they still play an important role, they are an outdated Model 1 version, which needs to be updated. It's frustrating going on date after date, doing what you've been taught to do, but not connecting with the quality of partner that you know you're looking for. In this video, I'm gonna map out for you the two essential upgrades to move from version 1 to version 2, and share with you a powerful third layer that's only really ever existed during our time. It's the missing piece for keeping an exceptional relationship once you found it. The Latin of the root exceptional, exceptio, means to take out from the norm. It is an exception, something that breaks the rules. Exceptional men are the 1% who have, through their actions, through their words, through how they show up in the world, have differentiated themselves from the predictable patterns of the other 99%. It takes courage and it takes commitment. But these three things that I'm about to share with you will not only help you attract an exceptional woman, but also help you keep it. So starting with attraction strategy 1, version 1, providing. So we're gonna rewind a little bit, and if we go back to the 1960s, it was only then that women for the first time had access to a bank account. Think about the structural implications of that. Prior to that, women were relying on their husband or their father for financial means, which means access to food, a roof over one's head, essentially survival. So that structure put providing at the highest possible level. It was literally linked to a woman's sense of safety. And therefore, men did everything that they could to show that they were earning money that they could provide. And during that time, in that period, it worked. And throughout all of history, in some way, this is being a predominant factor in male-female dynamic relationships. But now, thank God for all of the women in our lives, our sisters, our friends, our mothers, our daughters, that women now have the capacity to earn. They have agency, which gives them more choice and more freedom. Once upon a time, for survival, women would put up with suboptimal behaviors, whether that be aggression, betrayal, or whatever other behaviors were showing up in the relationship, because it was tethered to safety. Whereas now, she can just get up and leave. This doesn't mean men have become less valuable. It just means the standards of what women want and what women value have changed. And some men will complain about this. There's forums full of them, YouTube comments full of them. We might even see some here. The truth is, this is actually good for us. This means that women are valuing more than just us as providers, men as providers. Caveat, yes, we're still saying this is an important trait, but there's also much more. Women are looking to value us for who we are, for what we value, for how we show up in the world. Those qualities in value have radically increased. So version 1 man lives in a reality where more is better, where he goes out and he just gets a good job and makes lots of money, that he'll get the woman that he wants, and that more money means more opportunities, more dating opportunities. And if a man is living from that paradigm and that's what he's putting out, that's also what he's going to attract back. He's going to attract women that only value him for his money, and then wonders why he's in that relationship dynamic that's really suboptimal and he's not getting the love for actually feeling loved. He's being loved for his provision, which is never actually going to get to the core. It's never going to be the foundation to an exceptional relationship. So the key distinction between version 1 man and version 2 man is that V1 man is living from the outside in, and V2 man is living from the inside out. Now, that means that he has an internalized sense of his values, his core, who and what he is and what he stands for, and then he goes out into the world from that space. Now, version 2 man can actually be more financially and relationally successful than the V1 man. And he also has a sense of mission and value in what it is that he's doing, and tends to create a whole different life and ultimately attract a very different type of partner. He walks with a different type of vibrancy, and that's what she's attracted to, because she doesn't just need his provisions, she also cares about his heart, what he values, and how he shows up in the world. So attraction strategy 2, version 1, is about physical safety, physical protection. Now, physical protection and safety is awesome. It's a beautiful quality to have for your partner and for your family. Equally, in 2024, most women who will experience any physical harm will actually come from domestic abuse from her partner. So what's actually more valuable in this moment isn't the fact that your woman needs to be physically protected from all of the harm and gangs outside. In the culture that we live in, that is incredibly rare. What's actually more important in this time, which the V2 man recognizes and realizes, is yes, there might be a part of her that's attracted to his physical prowess and strength, but what's actually more attractive and more useful for a long-standing, exceptional relationship is relational safety, is his ability to be able to protect the relationship through his actions, through his words, through his commitments, and builds trust and safety through that. He has the capacity to protect, but really what he's there for is to show up relationally, to show up powerfully in a connected way. That builds an immense amounts of safety and trust, and it's the foundation upon which all exceptional relationships are built from. So whilst the first 2 strategies might help you get a woman, this third strategy is going to help you keep a good woman. So this is the third part. It's the secret sauce. It is probably the part that most of you have been waiting for. And this piece is the relational layer. So V2 men recognize that everything in their life is a relationship. As human beings, we are essentially relational beings. Everything inside of us is a relationship to something outside of ourselves. And the quality of that relationship, meaning like our perceptual quality to whatever object or thing that is, whether that be women, men, brotherhood, friendship, work, money, these are all things that we are in relationship with. And a version 2 man has the self-reflective capacity to recognize that firstly, these are all relationships, and his relationship to them is going to impact his external reality. Not only that, this level of relating also opens up the awareness that some of the things that are showing up in my life have the capacity to be healed, transmuted, and transformed. Meaning that some of the things that we've carried from our fathers, from our grandfathers that have been passed down in terms of behaviors, a V2 man puts his hand up and says, I'm going to take responsibility for transmuting and transforming whatever these triggers are that are showing up in my life. And he has the capacity and skills to do that. And most importantly, he values relationships. Because this man values relationships and personal accountability, he has practices in his life that support that. He has a meditation practice. He learns how to regulate his nervous system. He does whatever is necessary, gets the support that is necessary to actually internalize these changes and transmute and transform anything that's not actually showing up and supporting his life. And for an exceptional woman, she is looking for a partner that can meet her there. As we said before, she doesn't need him just for provision or protection. She also really wants relational safety. And this man can provide that. Because of the inner work he has done, he has internalized a sense of security, safety. He can fill his own cup up. Therefore, when it comes to choosing a partner, he can actually choose versus being drawn in or accepting subpar qualities in a partner. And she does the same. So this type of relationship feels more like a joint union versus people choosing each other from their kind of traumatic patterns. This isn't trauma bonding. This is a real choice to be with one another because neither partner needs one another, but instead they're choosing one another. And that is a really powerful place to build an exceptional relationship from. And don't get confused on the word power. If you want to understand what true power is, watch this video here now.